It was Christmas Eve, 1945. Snow fell softly on the town of Bedford Falls, but the festive cheer couldn't reach George Bailey. He stood on a bridge, staring into the icy water. Life had become too much. His dreams were gone, replaced by worry and despair. George felt like a failure. He saw no way out. Earlier that day, disaster struck. His uncle Billy had lost $8,000, the building and loans money. George faced ruin. He saw prison for himself and the end of his dreams for his family. Mr. Potter, the greedy banker, had won. Desperation gripped George's heart. He whispered, "I wish I'd never been born." Suddenly, an angel named Clarence appeared. He was there to show George what life would be like without him. Clarence took George back in time. They watched young George save his brother Harry from drowning. Another flashback showed George preventing Mr. Gower, the druggist, from making a deadly mistake. Again and again, George saw himself helping others. He gave up his dreams to care for his family and community. But without George, everything was different. Bedford Falls was a darker, colder place. It was called Pottersville, a town ruled by greed and despair. George saw how he'd shaped the lives of those around him. He'd given up his dream of traveling the world to run the family business after his father died. He'd put aside his college plans to save the building and loan during the Depression. George married Mary, the girl he loved, and together they built a beautiful life. He fought tirelessly against Mr. Potter's attempts to control the town. George and Mary even used their honeymoon money to keep the building and loan afloat. He believed in giving people a chance to own their homes, not be beholden to Potter. He built Bailey Park, a place for families to live and thrive. George realized the profound impact he had on everyone. He desperately wanted to live again. Clarence granted his wish. George ran back to his family, his heart overflowing with love and gratitude. The townspeople, hearing of his plight, came together to help. They donated their money to save George and the building and loan. The outpouring of love proved that George was not a failure. He was the richest man in town, rich in the things that truly mattered: family, friends, and community. As the bell on the Christmas tree rang, signifying an angel getting its wings, George knew that even in the darkest of times, hope could be found. It was indeed a wonderful life.